From now on, when you walk into a room, you will be the most confident version of yourself. We are no longer walking into rooms and worrying about what other people think about us because we are too focused on what we think about ourselves. After watching today's video, you will be able to walk into any room and be the most confident version of yourself. Let's get into it. Hey, it's your girl Jess, and welcome to my channel where we dive into all things self-development, self-healing, and romanticizing life. In today's video, we are going to be diving into how to be confident and own every single room that you walk into. When you walk into a room, it is so easy to get caught up on the opinions of what other people are thinking about you, but we are going to kill this right now. The first tip on how to enter a room and own it is actually going to start before you even enter the room itself. Tip number 1 is going to be hyping yourself up. Now, I say this all the time, energy speaks. The way that you feel will always be communicated outwardly without even saying a word to other people. Before you leave your house, when you are getting ready, when you look at yourself in the mirror, I want you to hype yourself up as if you are speaking to one of your best friends, a loved one, whether it's your significant other, a family member, and hype yourself up. Look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, oh my goodness, I look so good. That outfit looks so good on you. Your hair looks amazing. You are beautiful. And speak to yourself, speak to your reflection as if you are your own best friend, hyping yourself up. When you are able to tap into this energy, you are uplifting yourself and you are raising your vibrations, right? Everything has energy. So you are raising your frequency and vibrations in order to attract better things. If we leave the house and we are vibrating at a level down here, and we feel insecure with ourselves, we don't really have an outfit on that makes us feel the best. Maybe our hair didn't come out the way that we wanted it to, or maybe everything looks perfect, but you're just having a really bad day and you're feeling down about yourself. When you leave the house, that is going to translate to everyone. And because you are down here vibrating at this energy level, you are only going to attract other things that are on this level of frequency. You're not going to attract those, warm, inviting people, those good conversations, those compliments, because you're not vibrating up here and your mindset is down here. So that's what meets you, right? Like attracts like. It's the law of attraction. So when we use the law of assumption and we assume that other people think the same way that we think, we need to start by hyping ourselves up, bringing ourselves up to the frequency up here where we are already complimenting ourselves. So we know that when we walk out of that door, we are only being met with the same frequency. And anything that tries to get us that is at a lower energy is not going to affect us because we've already filled our own cups. We've already given ourselves those compliments, that love, that we're not going to seek it from other people. This actually kills off validation and seeking validation from others. I have so many videos on this. I have a video on how to tap into your feminine energy, which kills validation. When we are in the mirror and we are hyping ourselves up before we go out, not only does this give us a rush of dopamine and a good amount of energy, but we are giving ourselves validation. We are not going to worry if someone looks at us or if someone compliments us because we don't need it to feel good. We are already making ourselves feel good before we even step out of the house, so we know that we are only going to be met with amazing things. And this is the perfect step before you even go to the event or whatever room you are entering, because this step needs to happen first. You cannot walk in feeling bad because that energy will translate. So this is the first and most important step. It starts from within. Everything always starts with self first, and especially it's going to start before you even arrive into the room. Step number 2 is going to be your phone. Do not look at your phone when you are walking into a room, okay? So many times I've definitely done this in my life, especially when I was younger. And I would walk into a room and maybe I didn't know anyone that was there. And I would go and I would literally be on the weather app, pretending that I'm on my phone. Punching in random numbers on the calculator, pretending that I'm checking something just so that I can be down here. I don't have to look at anyone. I don't want to draw attention from anyone. I can just be in my own little space, look down on my phone, pretend I'm texting someone when I'm not, and then go to my chair or wherever I need to go, whatever space that I'm in the room. We are not doing this anymore. When we enter a room, we want to be open. We don't want to be closed off and tell people, I don't want to communicate with you. I don't want you to, be in my energy. I don't want to be seen. That's what we're translating when we're walking into a room and we're on our phones. Especially when you've never been to a place before. I was always one of those people who would only go and eat at a restaurant if I had read the menu previously. Or if I would look at pictures of the restaurant to see how to enter, how the tables are set up. I stopped doing this because it just created so much anxiety for myself for no reason. Because I was trying to expect something. I was trying to already, know what was going to happen and try to control. When we are in a state of control, we are already creating anxiety for ourselves. And when things don't go the way that we want them to, or we thought that they were going to happen in our head, we get more anxious. That kills your confidence right away. So especially when you are entering a place that you don't know and you've never been there before, and maybe to top it off, you don't know anyone, I know it's so easy to just crawl back into your little shell and just head down and go to where you need to go in the room and stay there. But no, if we want to own the room, we are keeping our heads high. We are keeping our phones in our pockets. We are not showing people that we don't want to be seen or we don't want to be there. We are being open and showing, yes, I have arrived. I am here. That's stepping into your queen energy. I also have a video on stepping into your queen era. Make sure you check that out as well. It gives amazing tips on how to step into your queen mindset. And putting your phone down is going to be an amazing step to do that when you enter every room. Tip number 3 is going to be eye contact. Do not be scared of eye contact. Look at someone in the eye, especially when you are speaking to them, especially when you walk into a room. I said this in my last video about how to tap into your feminine energy. If you've ever seen clips of Marilyn Monroe, the way she walks, not only in movies, but on the street, just herself in general. When she is tapping into her Marilyn Monroe energy, she has her head up high, her shoulders back, right? So her chest, her heart chakra is open, and she walks into the room and she will make eye contact and gaze at everyone. She is scanning the room, not to just see, who is here, but to let them know that I am here, right? I am here. Sit with that affirmation. I am here. It's very uncomfortable to say that and to feel that when we are lacking confidence. That's such a natural feeling to have, especially if you've struggled with insecurity before, especially if you've faced, people saying mean things to you, or whether that's from your family or your friends or even yourself, especially social media. When you can sit comfortably with the affirmation, I am here, you hold space and you're not afraid to do so, right? The whole point of owning the room is so that we tap into the most confident version of ourselves, to say that we are not scared to be seen, not because we need that attention and validation from others, but because it makes ourselves feel good. So don't be scared to walk into the room and scan it, right? Your phone's in your pocket now. You have no choice but to look outwardly. You can't be looking at your calculator pretending you're making a phone call. Look around, scan the room, and do not be scared of eye contact. Eye contact is probably one of the most attractive things, especially when you're in conversation with someone. When you're having a conversation with someone and they're looking around and they're looking at different things, it doesn't make you feel like they're even paying attention to you. So especially in conversation, but again, when you want to own the room and when you want to walk in the room, look at everyone. Don't be scared to be seen, and don't be scared to look at others as well. Tip number 4 is going to be stop pointing out your insecurities. Okay, if you've successfully done the first step and you've already hyped yourself up and still there's something inside of you that doesn't like the way your hair came out or doesn't like the shoes that you're wearing, they're uncomfortable, or maybe you have a scratch on your leg and you're wearing a dress and we think that everyone is staring at these things, but really they're not. they would never know unless we point it out. And that's my point exactly. Do not point out your insecurities. A confident person is never going to walk into a room and be like, oh my God, my hair looks so bad. They're going to own it. They're going to be like, I don't care because I am radiant. I am a goddess. So my hair can look however it wants. I could literally have a plastic bag over my head and I would still look good. That's the type of confidence I want you to carry. Do not point out that your hair didn't come out the way that you wanted it to. Don't point out that your shoes are uncomfortable. This just kills the magnetism, right? Like, this just kills that effortless look of just being, right? We don't want to make it seem like we're trying so hard to be confident. We just want to be confident. That's why I honestly hate the phrase, fake it till you make it. No, we're not faking anything. We are making sure that we're taking daily habits every single day to be confident, to be that best version of ourselves. I don't want you to ever fake anything, okay? If you're not feeling good that day, deal with it in solitude, okay? Confide in a good friend. But if you're choosing to go out and you're choosing to go to an event, you got to show up. And not to show up for anyone else, you got to show up for yourself, okay? You made a promise to yourself. You said you were going to go there. You said you were going to do the thing that scares you. Keep that promise to yourself. Hold that loyalty to yourself. That's another great way of building self-trust and self-discipline, because we are saying, okay, I told myself I was going to do this. I'm going to show up for myself. So do not point out your insecurities. No one will know until you point it out. No one's going to notice that there's a little scratch on your leg unless you say, oh my goodness, look at the scratch on my leg. And then they're going to look and be like, oh, I didn't even notice that was there. If someone points out an insecurity of yours or point something out like, oh my goodness, your hair doesn't look that good today, brush it off, okay? In one ear, out the other. I don't even want you to react. Again, if we've done all the tips so far and we've been successful, especially with tip number 1, and we've raised our vibrations up here, are we going to allow someone who is vibrating at a low insecure frequency bring us down? Like, ruin all of the hard work that we did when we were in the mirror before we left? No, we are going to laugh at them. We are going to laugh it off. Like, are you okay? just look like, okay. It doesn't even deserve your energy, okay? I know in the back of your mind, you're like, oh my goodness, they pointed out the thing that I was insecure about. Typically that happens because we are so focused. Our energy is so focused on that one thing. Again, energy speaks. So don't be surprised if you're focused on your hair looking bad and someone points it out. I want you to laugh this off, okay? You are so much better than someone else who does not feel good about themselves to try to drag you down, especially if you are so confident in yourself and you are giving yourself that validation. You are not even going to be fazed by these people or anything that anyone says because you already got your own back. You've already given all the love to yourself that you're like, I actually don't need a compliment from you, so I'm good. So the fact that you didn't give me a compliment still doesn't affect me because I've already given that all to myself. Tip number 5 is going to be stop putting your focus and energy on what other people think, okay? I never want you to walk into a room and have the thought, how am I going to impress these people? Are these people going to like me? No. It should be the opposite. How are these people going to impress me? Will I like these people? Is this going to be worth my time? Do I want to come here again? Do I want to see these people again? You are never going to walk into a room and take all the energy that should be given on yourself onto other people. If we are so absorbed with what other people think, with any situation, any area in our lives, we will never succeed because there's only us. There's only one of you, right? And it always starts from within. If you are constantly worrying about what other people think, you will never succeed in any area of your life. Do not ever walk into the room with an expectation of how to prove yourself to other people. Worry about how they're going to make you feel. Worry about if you are going to like them. This takes away people-pleasing so much because it takes away from the need to agree with everything and say yes. It allows us to stand firm in our boundaries and our values and speak and communicate in ways that only align with the version that we want to be. which is the best and most confident version of ourselves. And the best and most confident version of ourselves is not ever focused on how to always consistently make other people feel good and make ourselves feel bad at the same time. So we are not entering a room worrying about what other people think and how we can impress them. That just sucks the energy out of you. It just takes the energy right out of you because you are no longer putting it on yourself. And how can we attract if our energy is elsewhere, especially on other people? So walk into the room and just be there in the present moment. And don't worry about what other people think. Don't worry about trying to, be extra and impress other people. You will never have to do the most for the right people that are meant to be in your life. The right people will just gravitate towards you, and you will literally repel the people who are not meant to be in your life. You will repel the people who are not on that same energetic frequency as you. So don't step in the room, hype yourself up, do all these tips, and then as soon as you walk in, suck the energy out of you because you are worried about other people. No, keep that energy to yourself. It's okay to be a bit selfish with your energy because you will always attract the right people when you are so loving to yourself and you are open to attracting goodness. You're not going to worry about trying to impress everyone. You cannot impress everyone. If you try to impress everyone, you impress no one, especially if that one person does not include yourself. Tip number 6 is more geared towards communication when you are in communication with other people, and that's going to be your ability to listen. People love talking about themselves, okay? And when you are able to enter a conversation and give space for the other person to talk, ask the other person questions about themselves, really listen, Remember people's names, remember the things that they are passionate about. This will come in handy if you're ever going to run into this person again, or if it's an important person that you need to be in contact with or have that connection with. Listening is going to be your greatest ability because not only are you going to make them feel good, but you're going to show that you are, being an authentic person. You are genuinely present in the present moment and listening. So you're in your feminine energy because you are in the present moment. Your brain is not worried about what you did yesterday or what you have to do tomorrow. You can sit in a conversation, be open, be sitting in such your beautiful energy, having this good conversation and making the other person feel good just by listening. Again, this is so good for your energy because you're not draining your energy by giving people so much information about yourself and, talking. A great way to, make other people feel good when you're in conversation is just by listening. And it stops you from sucking the energy out of you as well because you're not giving so much. You're sitting back, you're leaning in your feminine energy, you're receiving this conversation, and you're just listening. And it's going to make them feel good. And it's also a way to protect your energy as well. And it's going to make you feel so good. The worst feeling is when you leave a place feeling drained, especially if you've maybe promised yourself before the event that you weren't going to be so open and talk so much about yourself and your personal life, especially if it's maybe an event for a career or business, and you end up breaking that promise to yourself and you end up just talking. You feel so drained after, okay? So keep that promise to yourself. If you want to be someone who listens more and is more present and maybe keeps certain personal information to yourself, this is a great tip to have, especially when you're owning the room, because more people are going to remember you for how genuine you were. The last and final tip number 7, is going to be your authentic self, okay? These are simply tips that are going to help you elevate that confident version of yourself. It's going to help you tap into that confidence that you need in order to own a room, in order to be unforgettable. Always keep your authenticity, okay? This is you in your truest form. This is how you are going to show up as the best version of yourself. So take these tips and make them your own, okay? Gear them to yourself. If you are an extrovert, keep that energy. If you are an introvert, keep that energy. Utilize these tips and keep them authentic to you, right? Everyone is different. Gear these tips towards yourself, okay? If you like to smile, if you like to walk around the room and, speak to more people, if you like to stay in one space and, you still speak to people, but they come to you instead of you going to them. Keep that authenticity. And when you use your authenticity and you are staying in your most truest form, you shine so bright. And then when you pair it with these tips, oh my goodness, you will be able to own every single room that you walk into with confidence, with joy, and with love. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video helped you truly tap into the most confident version of yourselves. I hope you take these tips and use them the next time you are going to an event, going to a place where you feel nervous, and you are able to take these tips and transmute that nervous energy into confidence and own every single room that you walk into. Make sure you like this video, comment what tip you needed to hear today, and share this video with someone who needs to hear these tips. If you haven't subscribed yet, you are definitely missing out. I'll see you in the next one.